Welcome to the course Certified Impact Auditor with elements from the 2020 ISO 26000 standard. What is a Certified Impact Auditor? To us at Vatis Common Ground, that's an auditor with knowledge both within social auditing and verification of the ISO 26000 self-declaration. The demand for auditors are growing when companies are accelerating in sustainability work, and at the same time, people would like to work with sustainability and don't know how. That is how this course came about, to meet the company's needs and to create meaningful assignments for people wanting to make a difference. My name is Johanna Richardson, and I work at Vatis Common Ground as a certified change leader and auditor. Organizational development and corporate social responsibility interests me, and these two topics have been my area of expertise the last 10 years. I've been working both as a consultant and employed in larger international organizations. The guiding principles in the UN Global Compact is something I truly believe in, and having the Sustainable Development Goals with sub-targets as tools makes it easier to steer towards Agenda 2030 and beyond. I will be your teacher. Let's get started. Welcome to Module 1, Why Audits? Lecture 1, Background Agenda 2030. The 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, adopted by all United Nations member states in 2015, provides a shared blueprint for peace and prosperity for people and the planet, now and into the future. At its heart are the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, which are an urgent call for action by all countries, developed and developing, in a global partnership. They recognize that ending poverty and other deprivations must go hand in hand with strategies that improve health and education, reduce inequality, and spur economic growth, all while tackling climate change and working to preserve our oceans and forests. The SDGs build on decades of work by countries and the UN. In June 1992, at the Earth Summit in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, more than 178 countries adopted Agenda 21, a comprehensive plan of action to build a global partnership for sustainable development to improve human lives and protect the environment. Member states unanimously adopted the Millennium Declaration at the Millennium Summit in September 2000 at UN headquarters in New York. The summit led to the elaboration of 8 Millennium Development Goals, MDGs, to reduce extreme poverty by 2015. At the United Nations Conference on Sustainable Development, Rio+20, in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil in June 2012, member states adopted the outcome document, The Future We Want, in which they decided, inter alia, to launch a process to develop a set of SDGs to build upon the MDGs and to establish the UN High-Level Political Forum on Sustainable Development. The Rio+20 outcome also contained other measures for implementing sustainable development, including mandates for future programs of work in developing financing, small island developing states, and more. The document, The Future We Want, is included for you in further reading. In 2013, the General Assembly set up a 30-member open working group to develop a proposal on the SDGs. In January 2015, the General Assembly began the negotiation process on the post-2015 development agenda. The process culminated in the subsequent adoption of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development with the 17 SDGs at its core. 2015 was a landmark year for multilateralism and international policy shaping with the adoption of several major agreements. Some of them are included in further reading. The Sustainable Development Goals are a universal call to action to end poverty, protect the planet, and ensure that all people enjoy peace and prosperity. If you're new to the SDGs, there's a link for you to follow. And if you are familiar with them and need a little recap, you can also take a look at this video. Beware though, they come in random order. Here's a summary of Lecture 1. The 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, adopted by all United Nations member states in 2015, provides a shared blueprint for peace and prosperity for people and the planet now and into the future. At its heart are the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, which are an urgent call for action by all countries, developed and developing, in a global partnership. They recognize that ending poverty and other deprivations must go hand in hand with strategies that improve health and education, reduce inequality, and spur economic growth, all while tackling climate change and working to preserve our oceans and forests. The visual communication system for the global goals, created by Swedish Trollbeck and Company in collaboration with Project Everyone, is universally adopted and used all over the world today. Next challenge is to spread the same awareness around the 169 targets. There's some reference material for you, and there's also some further reading if you're interested. And here's your task assignment. 1. How many are the Sustainable Development Goals and how many are the targets to go with them? 2. How have you been working with the global goals before? Describe process, involvement, and/or which goals that have been in focus and why. 3. In short, why was 2015 such an important year for the development of Agenda 2030? Please write down your answers and keep them for the coaching session. Good luck with your task assignment.